Today we're coming back at you with a new GFUEL. About we're going to compare it with the other one.
There's a new reskin of this flavor. So if you like collecting boxes and everything, this is what it will be.
Mm-hmm. It would be a white. It's called Faze Freeze.
Faze Freeze.
Faze
Which
Freeze.
is the same thing as this, but it's the reskin.
Okay.
Also caffeinated. Because this one's caffeinated and this other one is hydration. We could drink as much as we want of it.
We're reviewing this one, but we're going to compare it to the one we already had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we already had this one before, but we're going to see how similar it is to this. All right,
Yeah.
let's open it up.
This one's easy.
All the
Oh,
ones
it's
I have-
blue!
And then
I wonder if it's blue because the Faze Freeze is blue. I'm wondering if they're using that same kind of mixture. Maybe that's why it's blue. We'll find out. Because I'm wondering if the Faze Freeze is blue because this one's blue. I don't know.
GFUEL, tell us.
Wait a minute, I have an idea. This one is white because this one is the first one, and this one is blue because the second one.
Right. This is just.
Oh! Wow, that's milk. This smells exactly like milk.
They compared the original one to a Glacier Freeze Cherry Gatorade. So maybe that's kind of the smoothness that they're smelling is that glacier-like Gatorade smell.
I do
And
not like ice shatter, so I think
I have
I
no
don't like
idea.
this.
I'm doing this and this. Oh, there's a little bit of raspberry.
Kind of sand. It doesn't really smell like anything that takes me back to a memory. Whenever you really smell GFUEL, it takes you back to a memory. This doesn't really take me back to any memory.
You said sand? You might be right.
Yeah.
It does have a little bit of dirty type smell. I gotta see if this smells like the other one. Because
Let me.
Kind of, sort of. It has that, like, dirty type smell.
this one smells more fruity. This one doesn't really smell very good.
It smells like sand.
I think you might be a little right. All right, let's smell the real thing. This has to be related to Faze Freeze because Faze Freeze has a blue color on the tub, and this is blue. This one right here was a clearish color that didn't really have much of a color to it. This is like a bluish color. So I'm wondering if they're using the same kind of powder minus the caffeine for this. Ooh.
It even smells like Faze Freeze.
You never had Faze Freeze.
I had sample.
You had a sample? No, you didn't.
I get like a creamy. And actually some raspberry.
Raspberry?
Yeah.
Or is it just tricking you because of the color?
That smells better. No sand. It smells very sweet. Yeah, it seems like a raspberry. The red raspberry.
It does smell like a raspberry. Does it smell like the original one? Cherry-like? Because I remember the original one tastes like cherry. Or smelled like cherry. I think it still has the cherry smell, but it actually might be a little bit of raspberry. I don't know if it's... That's why I'm closing my eyes to see if it's the blue that's throwing it off. I think it's still cherry. Maybe a little bit of the raspberry-like tartness to it. I don't know. Let's check it out.
I'm so excited. Wow. That's definitely raspberry.
You think it's raspberry instead of cherry?
That's sour.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Remember, this is hydration. You get to drink as much as you want.
And Mama chug it down so you don't have any.
I just get a hint of sweetness. A little bit of lemon.
Well, he's drinking it all because it is hydration, so they can drink as much as they want.
This is gonna be one of my top. Listen, do not save any for Dad.
That's sweet. He actually is kind of right on the sourness. It's a cold flavor.
Ah, you said a cold flavor. Meaning, a lot of times they compare this to a Gatorade Frost. So maybe that frostness is what you're tasting.
Mm-hmm. Raspberry, but it's like a different type of raspberry taste than original raspberries.
So if you want to be more colder, just put like 1,000 more ice cubes.
This one is good. This one's really good. I wasn't as big of a fan of this one right here, even though we're going to compare it right after this. But I think this is better than the caffeinated one. I think they're right. This tastes a little more tart, a little more sour. It has more of that raspberry taste. I don't know if it's playing tricks with me with my mind because it's blue, but it does have a little bit of that raspberry like flavor to it. It does have taste cherry like everybody's talked about the other one. Even though in the description of G Fuel they say it's not cherry, it's some kind of citrus, grapefruit, whatever. It's cherry. We all taste cherry, but this has a raspberry like taste to it. Very good. Very good. We just got done reviewing the other one, the Yuzu Slash. I said that one might be my favorite. I think this one might be my favorite over Yuzu Slash. And so now we're gonna go ahead and let them have 1 ounce, of course, 1 ounce, like I always do, 1 ounce of the original
Faze Freeze.
Wow. They're both the same. They're both the same thing, but it's just that this is more cold.
Really?
It has that aftertaste, like, ice shatter, but just not in the end, not as the aftertaste, and this one doesn't have it.
All right, because I really like this one, and I kind of didn't like the Faze Freeze. I keep saying Faze Freeze, the Faze X. Let's see if it's the same.
I don't like this.
Maybe I was wrong. They're actually pretty similar.
This
I think what it might be is this might have had more ice cubes in it and it was colder. And this one didn't have this one's not as cold. So maybe they're right. I think when it's colder, it ends up tasting better. You don't think they're similar?
I don't think they're similar.
so when it's a cold day, this is the. When it's a hot day, that's the.
It's just raspberry I get. That's the same. Yes.
Well, I have to say, after reviewing these two side by side and how much I like this one, it made me end up liking this one again. They're about 80% similar. In review, I think this right here is better, in my opinion. I think it's a little bit not as potent. It's a little less potent. I mean, it's not as strong. And
For kids.
I think it's just better. I think it has that little bit more of a sour note-ish to it. Has a little bit of sourness to it. And a little more smooth. Let me try it. Oh, you drink it all. Try it again.
I drink it all.
I think this is a little bit more, how would I say it? They're both pretty smooth. They both taste like frosted Gatorades. But I think it's about 80% the same. This might be a little more sweet. And this one might be a little bit more Gatorade-like frost type flavor. So this has more of the frost. Leans more towards the raspberry than the cherry. But it's still cherry-like, but with a little bit of raspberry-ish in there. I don't know if it's because it's blue. When it's mixed, it's kind of playing tricks with my mind. But they're pretty similar. But it's great. After taking this, it actually moved this thing back up in my ratings. I think I had this thing in the okay section. Now I think it's actually pretty good. After having this, it's kind of changed my mind.
My favorite of the kids one is Spider-Man No Way Home. Bah! It's way less good than this thing.
So make sure you
Like and subscribe! And after you see it, Dave, because I love David!
Actually, see it. Peace.